Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's Daryl here. Today's one of those videos where I was just starting my workout here on the treadmill, and I was watching the show Intervention. And it's a combined bunch of things that started getting my mind thinking about what happened to me when after my father died when I was 9. He died of terminal brain cancer, and my mother started dating a policeman, much respected policeman with all sorts of ribbons and whatnot, and what he did to me. And it's all just falling into place now. Okay, so yesterday I was reading an actual interview with a Trump supporter, and it was actually a Trump supporter that said she was something happened to her when she was younger. She was kind of excusing the whole Epstein thing. For real, unbelievably. She was saying, well, this happens. It happens. It happened to me. You just got to move on with life and get over it. That's what she was saying. An actual Trump supporter talking about the Epstein files and what was going on. She was making excuses. Unbelievable. So I thought about what happened to me. And, years later, I've been clean and sober now, coming up on 19 years. I've been clean and sober from heroin and crack cocaine since October 23rd, 2006. And looking back, a lot of it, I don't like to admit to this stuff. It's still embarrassing to me. But let me explain it to you. I tried to understand why in my 20s and my 30s, I was kind of cross-addicted. Like when I used, I would immediately go to adult materials and adult bookstores. And, I'm a straight guy, but I would interact in the back rooms, in the back video arcades. And it all makes sense now. And it was what was done to me. Okay. So like I said, going back, I never liked this guy, this policeman my mom started dating. She didn't know about it. When she found out, my sister almost ended him. She went to his house. My whole family, thank God, they believed me, and they freaked out. This guy is dead now, this cop. I'm going to be I can't say, I got to be a little vague, because a lot of times when I talk about this, I get yellow lighted on YouTube. In other words, I can't monetize the video, so I have to be a little vague. Okay, so this started when I was, my dad died when I was 9. I was probably about 11. And, he was a full-grown, 38-year-old cop. I was 11 or 12 years old. And here's the thing I want to talk about today. I remember being at his house. I went up on my bike, and he would pay me in a roll of quarters, a $10 roll of quarters, after he was finished doing what he would do. And that was for the asteroids. I used to like to play asteroids. This was back in 1978. And even then, I looked at myself like I was selling myself, even though I really, look, now I know I didn't, I was the victim in all this. But back then it was hard to understand. I felt like somehow I deserved it. Somehow I was letting it happen, even though I was only 11 or 12 years old. Okay, so once I started using in my teens, I was drawn to adult bookstores, adult book venues, and I would interact in the back rooms with guys. And I'm a straight guy, and it wasn't something I did for pleasure. Now, looking back, I think I understand it. It was my chance to have control of the situation. I was in control of those men in the back room who wanted me, and who would pay me. And plus, it worked out good with my addiction because I got money. But looking back now, a part of it was the power that I had over those guys in the back room. I could choose this one or that one to pay whatever I wanted. I was a I was a good-looking teen. I was fit, and it was no problem. And this is shameful talking about this even now. I remember when I was 14 years old, I remember skipping school and going to New York City, to Manhattan. And I remember thinking to myself, it's like, worst case scenario, I could always go to New York City and sell myself on the streets. I could make a good living doing that. I remember thinking that at 14 years old. And I feel so ashamed, and I feel sad for that kid, that guy, that boy that I was back then. That's how I thought about things. That's how much that this guy messed me up. So now I'm clean and sober. I got clean and sober when I was 40 years old, and I actually stayed away from all adult material, for the first 7 years. I was clean, and even now I stay away from adult material, because at first it was a trigger for me. Any kind, if I even saw a woman in a bathing suit, it was a trigger. That's how cross addicted I was. I didn't think I'd ever be able to have normal relationships. And thank God, after about 6 or 7 years, my drive, my sex drive, and the rest of it moved apart, so that I was able to have a normal relationship. It really was no longer a trigger for me, and I'm thankful for that. But I look back and I think about how much that messed me up as a kid, what that guy did. I hope he's in hell now. I really do. I know hate eats you up, and you're not supposed to hate people, but I hate that mother. It's how much he lied. I remember him lying to my mother, and doing this stuff right when she was in the other room, grabbing me and stuff like that, right when my mother was in the other room. And I hate him. I still hate him today. Recovery is possible. Coming up on 19 years clean and sober, October 23rd this year. Have a good Wednesday.